Hello everyone, I'm back to do another page or two in my Daphne's diary journal. I want to do something with these gorgeous elves. These are the elves here, and the idea is that you cut these out. You've also got a page of butterflies as well. So I want to see how I can incorporate these into my journal. But before I do that, I've got something else to show you. Daphne's Diary have very kindly sent me this 2023 journal, planner, bullet journal. I really don't know what you would call this, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, it's spiral bound. It's quite fat. That's the front cover and that's the back. It's beautiful. You've got this little tag on the front, which I suppose you could use as a bookmark. Very, very pretty. But let me just show you the journal or diary itself. Let me just make sure that I'm in camera shot. So on the inside front page, you've got a pocket here, room to write your name and address, bucket list for 2023, whole of 2023 planner page here, room for contacts. And then you go on to the month by month diary itself with the most gorgeous images. This is absolutely stunning. Now, at the beginning of each month, you've got a whole of month planner page here. And then you go into the diary in more detail where you've got a day by day. It's just stunning. Now, for anybody who's followed me for a long time, you will know that I'm not really a diary writer. I don't keep a diary. I do everything in the notes section on my iPad. But this is just so beautiful. I'd like to try and use this in some way next year. So here we go. We've now hit February. Look at that beautiful image. It's just so gorgeous. And I don't know if you can see, we've got perforated lines here so that you can give this some shape, just try and personalize it. And then you've got the February whole of month planner page here. Look at the dachshunds. For anybody who follows me on Facebook, you'll know that my son has just got a new dachshund puppy called Toby. He is absolutely adorable. And we've been setting him a lot recently, so I've shared loads of photographs on my Facebook page. So I'll leave the link to my Facebook personal page in the description box below for anybody who wants to follow me. But, give me some ideas, guys. How do you think I should use this next year? Bearing in mind that, I'm not a diary keeper and I don't envisage being either, but I'd like to try and find some way of using this. Whether I use this to incorporate some of the Daphne's Diary images and use this as my Daphne's Diary journal, I don't know. Give me some ideas. But going back to this, you've got beautiful postcards here that you can cut out. These are perforated onto March, another beautiful image, the usual March planner page. Things like this don't really appeal to me. I would want to find some way of covering this up, but there's just so much to work with in this. It's just gorgeous. So let me just quickly, very, very quickly flip through. Isn't this a stunning page? Look at this image here as well. We're on to April. I love my garden, as you know, so maybe I could, incorporate some ideas or photographs even of my garden, which has taken a turn for the worse with the hot summer that we had this year. And we're trying to grow the grass back into May. Beautiful ladybugs, or ladybirds as we call them here in the UK. But it's such a stylish diary or planner. The images are just to die for, just gorgeous. And everything, from month to month, it just flows absolutely beautifully. Just look at this. The colours, the patterns, everything. It is just really inspiring. This is a sticker page by the looks of it. Yeah, so little postage stamp stickers. But just absolutely lovely. So as I've said, for anybody that, is looking for ideas for your own Christmas lists, then, I just thought I'd share this. It might be something that you would want to put on your own Christmas list, or you might think of somebody that this would make the ideal gift for. Absolutely lovely. Look at all the beautiful sunflowers. I mean, the images are just stunning. So we're nearly at the end now into September. I just love these pages here that you can trim and cut out. So I will be putting my thinking cap on, as I've said, to think of ideas as to how I could use this. Just look at this here. Oh my goodness me, look at these. Isn't that beautiful? More postcards. So yeah, but if you've got any ideas as to how you'd like to see me use this for next year, whether I do sort of like use it as an altered book, then leave me a comment below. Nearly at the end, November. Just gorgeous. Oh, look at these foxes. They are just so lovely. Oh, it's really inspiring. And then we're on to December 2023. Oh my goodness me, I don't want to even think about December 2022, let alone 2023. And yet here it is before my very eyes. Look at this. Reminds me of Peppa Pig. Oh, the deers. Absolutely gorgeous. And so that's it, I think. Notes at the end, and then we've got this pocket at the back with a little envelope with a few more goodies inside. Let me just show you what's inside here. So you've got a ruler, a little tag or bookmark, a page of little tag stickers, really cute. The months of the year, you've got 2 sets of those, and then pencil, retractable pencil and fountain pen, and some washi style stickers. So, you know, a nice little extra included in the back. So let's pop this back inside. But as I've said, you know, I've never used a diary before, but I'm always open to new ideas. So, you know, let me know how you would like to see me either alter or use this next year in 2023. Maybe I could use it as a journal to add my Daphne's Diary magazine images and alter it in that way. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So back to the forest elves. Just look how gorgeous these are. I'm going to fussy cut the elves. I'm also going to fussy cut the little daisies as well, and I'm also going to fussy cut the butterflies, the wings, and as soon as I've done that, I'll be back. I've cut all 4 of the elves and the sets of wings or butterflies out of the pages. Aren't they adorably cute? And I've just played around as well to see which wings I think go best with which doll. So I think that's how I'd like my composition to be. So I just need to decide now how I would like to add these to my journal. And I'm thinking maybe that I can have these on 4 separate pages just to pad my journal out and, you know, just to add an element of continuity as well, because they're just so cute. I'm going to start off by using this doll here. I found this piece of scrapbooking paper, which is from, I think, the Daphne's Diary paper box. It goes beautifully. The colours, just the autumnal colours, are just absolutely wonderful. And I'm thinking that I can have her on the page like this. Need to make sure that I've got room on the left. I don't mind it hanging over the edge of this slimline page. That's fine. I'm also wondering whether I can add one of these little daisies as kind of a headdress behind her head. So I think I'm going to go off and fussy cut this out as well. Fussy cut the daisy out, and I think the easiest way to do this is to glue the wings down first, just so that I know that I've got those in the right place. I'm just going to add a small amount of glue here. I should have kept my glue upside down. Here we are. So let's just glue this down. And then we can make sure that the other wing is symmetrical as well. And then glue the headdress on the little daisy on it as well. First elf is glued into the journal, and the only thing I want to do is just add a little bit of washi tape just to ground her, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue just to her toes, just to stick her down, and that's my first elf in place. Isn't that cute? So I need to decide now what I want to do with the other 3. To use this elf next, and I think she's going to fit perfectly on this page here. And as a background, I want to use this. Love the trees. I think colour wise this is going to work absolutely beautifully. What I want to do is just take this out of the journal just so that it's easier for me to work on, and I'm going to slice off the white edge. And let's see how much we can get to fit. I'm going to have the tree bases as the bottom. I definitely want to get the bird in. At the top of my page is about here. So let's see what that looks like once it's glued down. That's just lovely. Isn't that a gorgeous background? I'm going to try cutting a piece of the tree off on the right hand side, just because I'd love to have the squirrel on there. So I'm just going to have a play around with this and see what I can do. What I'll do is I'll chop it off just at the branches here. I think that will be quite a good join. I want to see if I can replicate some of these branches and leaves. I've put myself some acrylic paint and I've got a little sponge, and let's just see if we can do this up here. You see, that's working really well, just to disguise where that join is. I've got a bit of green as well. I don't want to overdo it, but I just want to disguise where that join is. I think that will be fine. I've got a little bit of orange as well. Let's try and mix that with some of that yellow. Just added a little bit of this peachy pink as well. You can see that I put far too much paint out on my little piece of palette paper, but that's okay. I'm going to leave that there like that and just give this a quick dry. Let's add our elf. There's her wings. You see, that covers that up absolutely beautifully. If you didn't know that join was there, you wouldn't be able to see it. So I'm just going to glue that down there like that. Isn't that gorgeous? So she's going to go down there like that. Put glue on her head, and you can see that I have inked around the edges, but that's it. That's my finished page, but we've still got a little bit of dimension. Have a play with this pretty little fairy next. So let's take this page out. Let me just move my journal out of the way, and I am thinking that I can use this page here, the text, as my background. So now, hang on a second, it's this page here, isn't it, that I need to cover? Yeah, just make sure I've got the right page. I'm just going to mark the centre of my page. In fact, actually, let's fold it over so that I know what I'm playing with. Grab a pencil. So this is 5.5. So 2 3/4, so that's about the middle point there. I think that will be the centre of my page. So let me just draw a line here, and I'm just going to trim this out with my paper trimmer. Let me just put a couple of marks here as well. Got my background glued down, but that with the doll on it just looks a little bit plain, so I've decided I want to add some leaves in the background. I've pulled out a couple here in 2 different sizes, just from this cheap stamp set here. And I want to try out a couple of different colours because I'm not sure which one I want to use. I've got Distress Oxide in peeled paint and Stays On in olive green. So let's have a look and see what the difference is. Let's do this one first, seeing as I've got it open. You see, that's nice. Let me just stamp the excess ink off. This is just a practice piece before I get stamping away and decide that I don't like it. That colour might be a little bit strong. You see, I think I prefer the Distress Oxide. I like the texture of it better. Let's have a look. You see, both colours go really well. Oh my goodness me, which one do I choose? Which one goes better? You see, I think the darker green goes better with the text in the background. Let's go with that. Okay, change of plan. Just look at this leaf here. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, that was just the ink that was left over from the frayed burlap. And then I used some of my Stays On ink in Midnight Blue. So I am going to try and replicate that. Let me just grab another piece of scratch paper, because what I will do, let me just grab both of my inks at the ready. So we've got Distress ink in Peeled Paint and Stays On in Midnight Blue. So what I need to do, let me just get the ink off that, is go in with the Distress Oxide to start off with, get rid of most of the ink, then come in with the Stays On in Midnight Blue, and let's add a few leaves. You see, I need more green, don't I? But that's just lovely. Let me just in fact, I could have gone in with a second generation print if I'd wanted to. Not too many. I don't want to overdo this, and I do want them in different orientations, but I'm just going to keep stamping. That looks a lot more interesting, but she's if I glue her down like this, she's just going to be floating in midair. Let me just, now I've cut a semicircle just by going around the bottom of my card like this, and that's just going to form something for her to stand on. So let's do this. I've got some ink here in Dry Weed, this is called, and I'm just going to use this little makeup brush here. I don't want this to be too strong, so let's just go over the background. Need more than that. That's a bit too weak, but let me just go over this a couple of times. I'm hoping this is going to be a strong enough colour. I didn't want to cover up my leaves. You see, that's better. Maybe one more time. And I think that should do it. And that will just give her something to stand on. So I just need to glue my wings on. I've already inked around the edges, and then I can stick her down. She's back in the journal, as you can see. I haven't found an appropriate quote, but I'm sure at some stage a word or a quote will present itself. So let's do something with the next little doll, Forest Elf. And that's this one here. Now, what I think I'm going to do is do her wings slightly differently, because I want to turn her into a tag. And if I have the wings like this, it's just a bit too big. So I think I want to glue the wings on like this. Now, let's take this page out of the journal, because I'm going to use another piece of this. And this was the paper that I used for the first elf. And I'm just going to glue this down in the background. Now, it's not quite big enough, so what I will end up doing is just trimming this side. I want it to go just down below the flap, just so that you can't see it. In fact, I'm going to glue it all the way down, just because that's me. I know that I could probably save myself some paper, but there we go. So I'm just going to trim this off, and I will glue this inside like that, and then I'll just trim the excess on the right hand side away. I've cut myself a tag, and this measures 3 by 5.5 inches, at least I think it does. Yeah, and I'm going to cover it in a photocopy of one of my eco-dyed papers, and I want this little portion down here. So let me just cut a piece of this off so that it makes it easier for me to glue it down. That's that. I've just glued it down with a glue stick, and now I can just trim away the excess. Of course, I only want to use half of her wings, so let me just fold those over like that, and whoops, get rid of these pieces of paper clogging up my scissors. Let's just cut that off. That should be fine. Now, how do these go now? So her wings are going to be glued on there like that. I've glued her wings together, but before I stick her on, I just want to ink around the edges in some distress ink in frayed burlap, just because it's going to be easier than doing it now than when she's stuck down, because I won't be able to reach certain parts of the tag. In fact, actually, I want to cut this into a tag shape as well. So let's just trim off the edges. Oops. Move that over to the other side. I know people keep telling me, why don't I use a credit card to do this? But, you know, this is just so quick and easy, and I can do it to any size I like. So, you know, this method suits me just fine, although, you know, I always appreciate your comments and ideas and suggestions. So there we go. And then I can stick her down. So what I will do is just apply my glue directly to the back of her, rather than adding it to the wings, because I want some dimension on the wings again. So I'll do this first, and let's just stick her on, and she's going to go there, something like that. So now I just need to apply some glue just to the back part here, and there we have it. And I'm just going to trim off the bottom of her legs, because we don't need those. Just popped a little bit of burlap as well, just punched a small hole in the top, so she's finished. I just want to do something with the bottom. I've got this page here, page 98 from the diary, and I want to chop this part out at the bottom and glue this just onto my flat. How will that fit? Quite well. I need to cover up this bit here as well, but I'm going to go ahead and stick that down around the edges, as you can see, and I'm just going to put the rest of the little poem that was on this page here. Of course, I used one of the sentences in one of the other elves, but cones and conkers by the handful, curled up under a blanket of wool, the scent of apples and cinnamon, now the wind and rain have truly begun. That's another cute little page. Now this is bothering me. I'm going to have to glue that down. I'm just going to put a tiny amount of glue. I'm using my fabric glue just because it dries quicker. Let's just press that down. This will dry almost instantly, and pop my tag back in. I love that page. You just hold that down just for a second or two until that glue grabs. So I have used all four of my forest elves. So we've got this one here. We've got this cute little girl here. I love that background. Isn't that pretty? And then we've got the two that are at the front of the journal. This one. And I think my favourite is this page here. Let me just check that I am in camera shot. Well, I'm leaving the video here for today, but of course I'll be back soon to fill up more pages in my Daphne's diary journal. It's absolutely wonderful to hear how many of you are following along with this series. Absolutely fantastic. So I hope this has given you some inspiration and ideas. Of course, if you've enjoyed today's video, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Do, of course, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know which page is your favourite. But most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.